Hey, what's up everybody? I'm SuperSonicJB. Don't mind me, I'm just sorting through my trash here. I'm trying to figure out what needs to be thrown out and what I can actually keep. Let's see here, we got some old tissues, some granola bar wrappers, a copy of Hey You Pikachu. Wait, what's that doing in there? That should be in the incinerator, not the trash can! Garbage! Man, I love garbage. I'm basically Oscar the Grouch, but from Ohio. Now yeah, that garbage is fine and all. Well, not really, because it stinks and can be bad for the environment. But you want to know what else stinks and can be bad for the environment? My mom! No, I'm talking about crappy video games. This piece of shit was so bad they literally had to bury all the unsold and returned copies of it. Now yeah, I love video games. I always have. But throughout my time on Earth, I've come across and played some really terrible games. A while back, I made a video talking about some of the all-time worst video games that I've ever played. And now that 6 years have passed since then, and I got to play even more bad games, I felt like it was necessary to make a sequel video, where I talk about even more of the worst video games that I've ever played. Now this is not a top 10 video, it's just me doing a mini review of the shitty games that I played recently. I also won't be talking about any of the games that I covered back in my first worst games I ever played video. Those are pretty much the only rules that I have for this video, so without further ado, let's take a look at some of the worst video games that I've ever played. Whoa, Alvin and the Chipmunks on the Wii? No. Okay, for real though, this is one of the worst Wii games that I've ever played. This is a rhythm-based game based on the 2007 live-action masterpiece that was Alvin and the Chipmunks. I used to actually like this movie as a kid, but it didn't age very well into my adulthood, although it's still better than all the other sequels. So this game is very similar to other rhythm-based games, like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, but now you get to live out your wildest dreams of becoming a chipmunk. I sure hope that's not actually someone's dream out there. Honestly, one of the biggest issues this game has going for it is how awful the music sounds. All the songs sound like they were being recorded underwater while the chipmunks were being electrocuted. It's so bad I wanted to invent time travel and go back in time to stop this game from being made. But that's a lot of work, so let's talk about something else. The controls. Since this is a Wii game, of course, it has to have motion controls. And my god, are they terrible here. Usually in rhythm games, you're supposed to press a button to do an input, but here, you have to shake the Wii remote or nunchuck in order to hit a note at the right time. This might not be so bad if the controls would actually respond better. It feels like over half of my inputs didn't work properly while playing, which really made playing this game feel horrible. Sometimes the game will ask you to hit a button and move the Wii remote or nunchuck at the same time, and these inputs are just as annoyingly bad, if not worse, because it asks you to do more. Then there's the terrible looking character models of Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Good god, they look horrifying! Also, I love this one clip of mine back when I reviewed the game on the channel. Also, Theodore looks like he knows your secret fetish. No, I don't have a fetish for crappy Wii games! There's also a story mode in this game that kinda tries to retell the movie's story, but it starts about halfway through it and skips all the origin stuff, which might actually be a good thing because I don't think any of us will want to play this game even longer. The cutscenes are just bad looking JPEGs with bad voice acting over them, and the story mode itself is not any different from the free play mode, where you select a song and play. Not to mention the animations in this game are abysmal. They're just copy and paste throughout all the songs, so you'll see them do the same dance moves like 10 times per song. Other than that, I really don't have much more else to say about this game. It just sucks overall. Controls are terrible, the graphics make me want to puke, and the terrible music makes my ears bleed. Okay, moving on. Hey You Pikachu is a total piece of shit. Have you ever wanted your own pet Pikachu that you could hang out with? Probably. And that's basically the idea that inspired Hey You Pikachu. This game is really bad. It uses a microphone accessory for the N64, and you're supposed to use it to talk to Pikachu. The main issue is, it doesn't work very well at all. Pikachu never seems to listen to anything you say, which makes the game pretty much unplayable. The game's story revolves around you getting your own pet Pikachu, given to you by Professor Oak. You participate in some minigames, and by you I mean Pikachu, and you go outside and tell Pikachu to do stuff, and he never listens. Pikachu, I told you to commit genocide! Why aren't you listening to me? This game is the very definition of boring. Like I said, you don't really do anything. You just shout at Pikachu through the mic and tell him what to do. There's several minigames that require you to tell Pikachu what to do, but they're all terrible. Like Bulbasaur's picnic requires you and Pikachu to collect several ingredients for the picnic because Bulbasaur was too lazy to get the ingredients himself. So then you'll tell Pikachu what he needs to pick up, but he struggles to get the right ingredients. He'll constantly pick up the wrong items, and this can cause you to fail at the minigame. He even draws terrible looking pictures of the things that you need to collect, so why does he act like he doesn't know what the ingredients are? There's also an annoying quiz game where a Pokemon will appear on TV and you need to say what their name is into the mic, so Pikachu will guess the answer. But lots of times, he'll press the wrong button or will hurry and mess up. I swear, getting all 10 questions correct in this minigame is pretty much impossible. I would talk about more of the minigames, but screw it, that's what my review video is for. Oh, also, if you want to see the ending to this game, you have to play through this game for an entire year. Yep, a whole 365 days of Hey You Pikachu, just to see how it ends. Spoiler alert, I didn't do that. And it basically just ends with Pikachu being let loose into the wild. Oh, thank God he's gone! Now we can move on to the next game, Chicken Shoot. It's a game on the Wii where you shoot chickens. And that's it. No, seriously, that's all you do in this game. It's literally a game about a murderous farmer who hates chickens and kills them all. Why is it on this list? Simple, it sucks. It's so repetitive and boring, and it's so short too, only lasting around 30 to 40 minutes. Oh, but you can get all kinds of different guns to shoot the chickens with. Doesn't that sound cool? No, it doesn't. It doesn't change the gameplay at all, meaning it still sucks. The only positive thing about this game that I can think of is a nice art style, but even that can't save Chicken Shoot from being a pile of crap. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. It's just bad. No, Isekai Demon Waifu! No! No! No, not this game! No! Someone help me! Isekai Demon Waifu is one of the worst mobile games that I've ever played. It's the very definition of lazy and boring. When you look at the art online for this game, it actually looks pretty cool. But then you actually start playing the game for yourself, and then you instantly regret all your life choices. If you follow my channel for a while, you know how much I hate on this game. Mainly because of how horrible the gameplay was, and how it carried over into several other games throughout the years. Let me explain. The story revolves around your character getting isekai'd into a video game where you become a demon prince, who looks like the very definition of an edgy OC. He kinda looks like Shadow the Hedgehog, if he was an Overlord character.
This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
Also, Emiya here kinda looks like Kana from that Dragon Maid anime. Just pointing that out. Now, the story in this game is pretty bland and boring. You're the new demon prince and must lead an army of demons against the crusade who are trying to take over the kingdom. Along the way, you meet new allies, visit new areas, fight bosses, blah blah blah. It's not that interesting, honestly. I got bored of this lame storyline pretty much instantly, and it's not even the worst part of the game. No, that would be the gameplay. All you do is press a button on the screen to charge forward and kill your enemies. And that's it. Yep, it's that simple and boring. All you do is tap the screen, and then you win. There's no strategy involved here, just tap the screen once or a few times, depending on the battle, and you win. And you do this in every single story level, aside from the bosses, and those just have you tap on the screen to attack them until they die. This gameplay is so incredibly boring, and so many other shitty games decided to replicate this gameplay into their own games, especially those bad G123 games. Those need to die already. This game's more than just a bad game. It's a shit game. Thankfully, it ended its service. This year? For real? I can't believe this game lasted 4 whole years! The reviews for this game were all terrible! How did it last that long? I get that there's some fine waifus in this game, like the sexy vampire chick. Mommy? But everything else about this game sucked ass. Even all the other modes you can play in this game were bad. And just look at how unorganized everything is on the title screen. The inside of my 3rd grade desk is more clean than this. So yeah, in conclusion, I absolutely hate this game. It's super boring, and I'm thankful it's finally dead. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a shitty game. Alright, that's enough. I'm not continuing the stupid rendition of the song. Grinch for the PS1 is a really bad game. It's a game that was somewhat based on the Jim Carrey live-action movie from back in the day, but it's way different at the same time. This game has some of the worst graphics that I've ever seen. Like, I get that it's a PS1 game, but still, it looks awful. Like, the character models will literally just freeze during a cutscene, which is both horrible looking and hilarious. The game has you play as a Grinch going to several different areas across Whoville, and most of them do not appear in the movie or book. and you do several tedious quests like destroying presents, throwing rotten exit stuff, and collecting blueprints. It may not sound that bad, but the controls are absolute garbage, and the level design is awful. You can attack using your bad breath, and that has pretty much no range at all, and you have to collect some of these rotten eggs to power up some of your Grinch inventions in order to progress through the game. You'll have to collect thousands of these, because you'll go through them constantly too. Also, there's some freaky enemies you can fight, like these bees, and this creepy kid who keeps calling him Big Daddy. Big Daddy? I mainly hate this game for how terrible it plays, and how much the missions tend to drag on for. It doesn't follow the source material at all, and the Grinch doesn't even try to steal Christmas in the end. He just tries to kill Santa. And my reward for that is hearing the worst cover of Welcome Christmas, or whatever that song's called, that I've ever heard.
Welcome Christmas, Fahuramas, Christmas Day is in our grasp, as long as we have hands to clasp.
Yeah, this game sucks. Moving on, Mario is Missing is a game that exists. And oh boy, I wish it didn't. It's an educational Mario game where you play as Green Mario, or Luigi, even though it's just Mario's sprite but green. And you go on a quest to save Mario, who's been captured by Bowser, and Luigi must save him by traveling to a bunch of countries across the world where you'll learn stuff and read newspaper articles to unlock new doors back in Bowser's castle, where you'll fight the Koopalings and Bowser. You'll find lost items that need to be returned, like the entire Sistine Chapel ceiling, and you can only return said items after you complete a series of quizzes, which is really annoying. The NPCs will teach you stuff, and most of the areas you'll explore are just straight walking paths with no fun platforming at all. Educational games tend to be pretty bad, and this one is for sure one of the worst ones that I've ever played. If you want to play a game starring Luigi as the main character, then just skip this game and play Luigi's Mansion instead. And the last game that I'll be talking about is Loop 8 Summer of Gods. This game is such a disappointment in so many ways. It revolves around its generic-looking JRPG main character moving into a new town that gets attacked by demons. But you end up going through this weird time loop that undoes everything, and it keeps happening every time you die in the game. To prepare for the battle against the demons called the Kagai, you have to increase your stats and bonds with your friends, just like the Persona games. It sounds cool, right? Well, sadly, you're wrong. Every time a time loop happens, everything will get reset, so you have to sit through all the game's opening cutscenes all over again. You have to redo all your friends' bond scenes too, which is so aggravating. There is a talking squirrel that can give you your stats back from a previous time loop, but this squirrel is just so annoying, and interacting with it feels like grinding your ears against hot concrete. And there's the game's terrible combat, where you attack using emotions, and your friends will act good or bad depending on your overall bonds with them. Combat is tricky, complicated, and overall boring. And if you die, the game doesn't ask you to retry. No, another time loop will happen, and you will have to start all over again. It's just unbearable! Then there's the characters in this game. They're all pretty bad and uninteresting. I guess Benny is alright, but everyone else pretty much sucks. The frame rate in this game is also atrocious. It feels like the game runs at 10 frames per second, and everything lags like crazy. I will go on more about this game, but I already made a full-on review of it, so I'll just say this. Loop 8 Summer of Gods is one of, if not the worst JRPG that I've ever played, which makes it perfect for this video. So those are some more of the worst games that I've ever played, but don't worry, I'm sure in the future I'll play even worse games. Maybe. Who knows? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go throw up real fast. These games made me sick to my stomach.